Hey students, it's me, Mrs. Finner, and I'm going to walk you through this constructed response. I'm not in the building for the next 2 weeks, unfortunately. So I want to walk you through this, and this will be helpful if you are fully remote too. So hopefully today, as you're watching this, you'll have some time in class to do it, approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So this kind of just reviews characterization. So if you're in person, we did hand signals for characterization. I think we talked a little bit about this too remotely. So for direct characterization, we find the evidence directly in the story. So our eyes are like laser beams, and we try to find exactly what the author says, okay? And then for indirect characterization, we need to infer or draw a conclusion about the character. So we do this by looking at the characters. We have the acronym STEAL: speech, their thoughts, what they make other characters feel, say, and do, the characters' actions, and how they look or present themselves. So what you should do for your constructed response, if you're confused and you're watching this and you're like, how the heck do I do this? You're going to pick one of these prompts. So there is a typo. So the third prompt should state, are Connor and the monster one being or two? How is the third tale meaningful to Connor? And does beating Harry improve or worsen Connor's sense of invisibility and isolation? So you're going to choose one of those prompts. Here's an example of a constructed response. You also have the rubric that I'll go over with you. So you need to start with a title, author, genre, beginning, or introduction to your response. That needs to be in a complete sentence. You also need 2 reasons to support your claim. They need to be cited properly. You also need to include a concluding sentence. So here's an example of a good constructed response. This is for a different prompt, and things are a little bit explained or outlined here. So let's see if I can zoom for you, maybe. Perfect. So as we look at this, you're going to use the same introduction for your constructed response, where it says, in the magical realism novel, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, comma, notice that we have italicized the title of the book. You can also choose to underline it. Notice how each letter is capitalized because it's a proper noun, it's a title of a book. Notice also how the author's first and last name is capitalized. So you're going to copy right to this comma, and then after your comma, you're going to finish your sentence with what your PQA, or part of the question, the answer is. So for example, if my prompt is, are Connor and the monster one being or two, and I say, Connor and the monster are one being, I would say, in the magical realism novel, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, Connor and the monster are one being, period. So that's what I would do. I'm then going to introduce my evidence. I will then cite my evidence properly. Notice how you have the evidence directly from the text in quotation marks. You then have the parenthesis, author last name with the last name capitalized, page numbers, and parenthesis, period. Then you need to have a conclusion sentence. So also, I would say for your conclusion sentence, make sure that it mirrors or is somewhat similar to your introductory sentence. So their intro sentence is, in the magical realism novel, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, Connor's dad does not make brave choices for his son. And then they end it by saying, because of these choices, he leaves Connor to face the truth with the monster instead of his father. So they're basically saying the same thing. The introduction sentence and the conclusion sentence, they're just reworded. Now, in this prompt, they cited 1 piece of evidence. I want you to strive to cite 2 pieces of evidence to support your thinking. So again, you have your tag statement, you have your claim or your opinion, and again, your claim will be different depending on what prompt you choose to write about. You then have your pieces of evidence cited properly, and then your conclusion sentence. So that is all you need. Again, I would suggest checking this rubric before you submit, making sure you have all these pieces before you submit. If you have questions, you can email me. I will also be on the Google Meet today, but I know that was short and sweet. I hope it was helpful though. And again, if you have any more specific questions, shoot me an email or join our Google Meet today from 12:15 to 12:50. Thanks, guys. Have a great one and good luck.